So, BookFox did an excellent video on how to incorporate dreams into your fiction writing, but there are 3 tips that I would add as a fiction author who is way too obsessed with dream interpretation and human consciousness. The first thing to remember is that dreams can be influenced by the outside environment of the dreamer. According to the book Windbrain's Dream by Antonio Zadara and Robert Stickgold, experimentation with dreams really took off around the 1850s, and Alfred Murray was a professor that did a series of experiments using stimuli-based actions to see if they would show up in his dreams. So while he was sleeping, his assistant would come in and perform these experiments. After a pair of tweezers had been held close to his ear and struck with a pair of scissors to make a light ringing sound, Murray dreamed of alarm bells ringing out a tocsin, signaling the breakout of a revolution. When a piece of heated iron was held close to him, he dreamed that robbers had broken into his house and held his feet to the fire to force him to reveal where his money was. When a burning match was held under his nose, he dreamed that he was at sea and that the powder magazine of the ship had blown up. So while you sleep, your brain is still processing stimuli outside of your body. A great way to use this in storytelling is to integrate what's happening outside of the dream into the character's dream. Maybe the dreamer doesn't know that their house is on fire, so they dream of smelling smoke and they taste the ash, which eventually wakes them up. Or maybe your character is dreaming about cheating on their spouse with someone at the office, but in real life, their partner's sleeping right next to them. Right as the character is about to succumb to temptation, their perfume or cologne drifts into the dream, causing a lot of guilt or shame. Dreams are part of reality, they're not the absence of it. Even though they're part of our internal world, they're not fantasies exactly. They're a way for our brain to process a copious amount of information that we can't do within the moment. It's too difficult for us to process everything as it happens. Which brings me to my next point, that dreams are non-linear. While we live in the confines of time and space, our dreams do not. Dreams will process your sensory data and feelings completely out of order. You may dream of your embarrassing moment at work yesterday, followed by a memory of you and your father fishing when you were 11 years old, and then followed by a dream warning you that your tires are about to go flat. Dreams do not live inside time boundaries like your consciousness does. Your dreams are part of your unconscious, which is a completely different animal. So just like people in real life, your characters are not going to be completely aware of their unconscious. This means that your character's dreams can end up being a way for your characters to discover their unconscious. It should bring their consciousness to light in a way that affects their behaviors or beliefs that will eventually change the plot line. And while dreams are usually inserted into fiction as foreshadowing for the future, you can also use them as a way to fill in your readers on the past or the true present feelings of the character. And my last tip is that pay attention to your setting when you decide how your characters will react to their dream. I live in South Korea, and here we have something called taemong, or the conception dream. This is a dream that someone has before a woman gets pregnant. This can be a dream by the pregnant woman herself or by a close family member. I can ask anyone in Korea what their taemong was, and I will usually get an answer, even from people that don't have any sort of belief in this sort of dream. So if my character is Korean, they're going to have a more significant reaction than someone from Los Angeles. If I have a character from Los Angeles who has a really strange dream, they're probably just going to chalk it up to eating a strange burrito. But if I'm writing a story about a character who comes from Korea or another culture that takes dreams really seriously, the reaction of the character is going to be completely different and may change the entire direction of the story. The point is, if you're going to add a dream into the story, it needs to have an impact on the way that the characters act, or it needs to affect the story in some grand way. If you want more tips on writing dreams, I highly suggest BookFox's video on that. I will leave a link in the description. And I also recommend the book Windbrain's Dream for more tidbits about dream science and how your brain works while you're sleeping. If this video was helpful, go ahead and like and subscribe to Otome Author, my channel where we talk about writing for gamers who like to write and writers who like to game. Until the next video, keep being beautiful beasts. I will see you tigers later, and peace.